Against the backdrop of a raging COVID epidemic and a quite visceral Black Lives Matter movement, Abroad While Black was born. Our goal was to highlight Black perspectives from all over the world. It was our way of proving there are other ways to live, other places to be successful, and different cultures that embrace our Blackness. In 2020, the Abroad While Black team created dozens of responsive hot takes and thoughtful interviews covering topics ranging from current events, business opportunities, dating, and life-changing moments. In 2021, our co-hosts Cordy and Sean aim to share more success stories, more productive introspection, and most importantly, how to relocate to a place that truly values what you offer the world. Abroad While Black is more than a show. This is a social experiment hell-bent on discovering new ways to secure the bag and live our best lives. Join the Abroad While Black squad.
Saying we need something else, bro. Like we need our own sort of stuff. So actually I stopped going out for a while. I stopped going to the clubs. I stopped doing all of that. And I would just used to just kick it at my boy's house, Nav, in East Legon. He had a nice crib. A lot of people were always coming through. So kicking it there and then with him most of the time. So we just got to start, trying different drinks. Every time somebody would come over, somebody would bring a drink or two or whatnot. So it got to a point where it was like I was going over always drinking everybody's stuff, but I never brought anything, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna surprise these guys one day. So I've been had this secret recipe, but it wasn't like a recipe, just a cocktail blend mix that I used to do once in a while with some close friends for years. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try. But the truth is, like, I did it, I liked it. So I always just was like doing it when I go to a bar, I'll buy some ingredients and then I'll mix my stuff up and I'll let people try it, low key. And they'll be like, this is good. But I never took it like seriously, that was just me. So one day at my boy's house, I did the same thing. I bought the ingredients, went over there. They're all there, doing the usual vodka, Hennessy and stuff. I'm like, okay, guys, today I got a surprise for you. I'm going to whip something together. You guys try it out. They're like, okay. So I'd go in the kitchen, do my mix, put it in a big bowl, like, how they do like those punch stuff and everything. And everybody's like, yo, is it safe to drink? I'm like, yeah, let's just try it out. So they're like, let's just try it out. And then they're like, okay. So they tried it. And then everybody was like, And at this point, it was like, there were mad people over at the house that day. They were like, mad girls, guys, artists, whatnot. So we were just chilling, and then everybody was like, yo, this is nice. So the first batch was done in like 20 minutes. This is like 20, 30 people in the house, right? It's done. So then I'm like, oh, they're like, it's done. And everybody's like, yo, they want some more. And I'm like, oh, but I'm out of supply. So I quickly run, go get some more supplies, come back, whip it up again. Everybody's drinking it. One girl comes with her dude came with a bottle of Henny. He opens it up, trying to, flex and all that. And she's like, nah, I want what they're drinking.
Yeah.
So that's when it was like, yo, this is actually a vibe, And that's when they asked me, like, what's it called? And at that time, I didn't have a name for it, to be honest. I was just like, but because I've been on radio and everybody knows me as the radio man, and I have a song called, Airborne and Radioactive, which is like my sig tune to my show. And the people around there knew me. So they were like, yo, this is Radioactive. And I was like, ching, ching. It just like, and I was like, whoa. So it was just like a light bulb moment at that point. I was like, yeah, this is Radioactive. That's what it's actually called. So I just ran with it from there. I just ran with it, So it was like, oh, wow, Radioactive. So we were like, okay. So we did the party. People liked it. Next week coming up, one of my boys has a party bus. He's like, yo, he has a party bus. He's going to invite some people over. We're going to go to the town. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make some of my drink. So I brought it in. We picked some people. We go to the beach, mad party. Everybody loved the drink. But at this point, I'm giving it out for free. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then my boy's like, yo, we could make some money off of this. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's test it out. So first event, this is like August 2019, by the way. First event called Merch Mania in East Legon. And then I was like, my boy was throwing the event and he wanted us to support him. So I was like, you know what? I'll support you. Just I'll support you with the media, promo runs, whatnot. but give me a booth in return, like a spot where I can come set up my bar at your event. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, you got it. So I helped him out with the media runs, put his stuff together. We all promoted the event. Event was a huge success. And that was when we sold like 2,000 cocktails. That was like our first ever. Nobody had
Wow.
heard of the drink. We just like came through with the gas mask. So we just ran with the theme Radioactive, came through with the gas mask, and that was it. Everybody
Wait,
loved
wait,
it.
how does this gas mask fit in? Because I see it, I love it. That's what stuck out when I went to the facility when I was
In Ghana,
you
yeah.
I can't even say second home. It's really like the first
Yeah.
home. But I had to get that selfie in the gas mask. Like, where did that come from? Like,
So that actually came from one of our boys, Mofo. He's a graffiti artist, and
okay,
usually whenever he's spraying around town because of the graffiti, right, he always
I
wears a gas mask. So
okay,
so we were just saying Radioactive. So one day he came by and we're like we commissioned our wall for him to like come do some graffiti on it, and then he wore a
mm-hmm.
gas mask. So we were like, yo. This could be our thing. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
but then it all sort of
and
made,
it's like telling the future now, right? Like,
yeah. And this was prior to like Corona happening, face masks and all of that, right? We were using gas masks as our theme and our brand. And the next thing you know, Corona comes and everybody now is walking around like face masked up, like sort of like gas masks already. Like even watching
already had,
CNN,
had
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I
watching.
knew I would.
So we just ran with it, man. And then we were like, okay. So one of my boys was in London. I'm like, yo, I need gas masks. He sent down like 50 pieces, 100 pieces of gas masks. And then we were like, we're trying to run promos with it. We sold a few, sold out in like 2 weeks. I was like, whoa. So then we were
Okay.
like, wait, so we can do merch, we can have a drink, we can have. So we were just going wild at that point. But at the same
Okay.
time, we didn't know what it was going to become. So we just started off gradually going from event to event. And then, a lot of major players now started reaching at us like, yo, we should come throw our radioactive parties at their spot. And then we're like, okay. But funny enough, right before we started to do that, because we had done like 2, 3 events, just pop-up bars. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, wait a minute, where this whole thing started was at your house, bro. And your house, people come through every other day, like whatnot. Why don't we just turn the house into our own, you know what I'm saying, like facility, a yard, and then we
Yeah.
can control, you get what I'm saying, we can control our surroundings, because that was one of the problems we were sort of having when we were outside. Like it wasn't our event, so we couldn't control,
Yeah.
what was going on. We had like a limited space.